Well, welcome to my channel. And for those of you that are new, I'm Larry Olson, and I'm a specialist in the field of performance-driven neurology, which is simply a blending of cognitive psychology and neuroscience. And I wanted to ask you, would you be interested in being able to do twice what you're doing now in half the time with twice the fun? And what response do I get from most people when I share that through my workshops and my speaking engagements? Is typically a lot of people say BS. They also say too good to be true. And you know, few people, you know what they say? Well, yeah, I'd love to learn that. Now, isn't that interesting? One question gets such a variety of answers. And that's what's so powerful about our brain. It's already made its mind up before it hears what the opportunity may be. And in order to change that, in order to be able to accomplish more than you currently have, it's really all about taking the time to recognize that most of us have been taught to prepare, to study before the test, to practice and practice and practice until we get it right. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but it takes a lot of time. And unfortunately, the brain is so much faster than that. All the brain needs to know is what the outcome is, and then it'll figure out what's necessary to do. And what's interesting about it is you'll enjoy the practice. You'll enjoy taking all of the time. I'm not saying you don't now, but here's the belief that's been established. It doesn't allow people to do things in half the time with twice the fun. Is that in order to try new things, most people feel that they got to know how first. And what happens is in their mind, when they don't have all the information, 9 times out of 10, since the brain can't stand a vacuum, it makes up the rest. And 9 times out of 10, it creates a negative scenario. Well, what happens if this takes place? Well, what happens if that takes place? You know what? In order to be safe, we don't generally use those terms, but that's what our brain's designed to do, is protect us. I think I'll only do this much. Or, you know, I think I'm going to pass on that. And here's what you probably already know but forgot. Instead of trying to figure out without the information, I'm going to ask you to take the first step and to do something. Now, as you're doing something that you haven't done before, guess what starts to happen? You begin to learn. I remember one time going out with the family, and we were going to bowl one evening. And I threw the ball, and it hurt my arm, and I wasn't going to be able to participate. And my wife told me, she goes, well, bowl left-handed. And I'm going, bowl left-handed? I don't know how to bowl left-handed. And I got into all the reasons why I couldn't be successful changing hands, because I didn't see myself as ambidextrous. I didn't see myself as having the potential to learn that way, especially in one evening. But the look she gave me, I figured, I better learn how to bowl left-handed. So the first 3 or 4 times I threw the ball, it went in the gutter. But you know what? I learned a lot about the brain. I'm doing now and learning from my doing, aren't I? I didn't have time to prepare how to bowl left-handed. I didn't get to read about it. I didn't know which foot to start with. I didn't have all the preparation necessary. I hadn't practiced it. But I'd overlooked something so important that most people do, and that was I had a brain with over 100 billion neurons just waiting for instruction so that it could create the movements necessary for me to be successful. And by that second game, I bowled 137. And my son said, Dad, could I play with you? I'm going to bowl left-handed too. And you know where the real transition came in the transformation is when the ball returned and I tried to pick it up with my right hand and put my right hand in, it felt wrong. Now, it hadn't taken very many attempts to find out that my brain was already beginning to learn left-handed. What are you not allowing yourself to do because you don't know yet? Well, I'm sharing with you that that isn't necessary for the brain. Even though that's how we've been brought up, you got to know first before you try. I'm going to ask you to do first and find out, and watch how fast you grow. Now, if you found value in this, go ahead and leave a heart below. And we've got phenomenal resources on the Brain Hack series, as well as free information that'll allow you to do just that. And what was that? To do before you know, so you can know from the doing. All the best.